part 2 of going over every single tool inside of the HIGHLEVEL account. We started at the launch pad in the previous video, so go and watch part 1 if you want to go and start from the beginning, but we are starting with payments in this video. Invoices and estimates is where you are going to find whenever you click on payments that you are going to default to, unless you have turned off certain sections and tools inside of the sub account for your client. Underneath invoices and estimates, you have all invoices, recurring, templates, and estimates. Inside of the invoices section, this little notification will show up by default if you don't have a payment gateway attached, but we'll go into that in a minute. You have settings. When you click on the settings section, this will take you and keep you inside of the payment section, and you'll go into settings for this account. Going from top to bottom, you've got business information, which allows you to put in a default logo that is going to be attached to the invoices that you send out from the account. You can also predispose of the kind of business name. You can also put that into the settings. So if you have put in business settings for your sub account, then those are going to default inside of this account as well. You can click on address, put those in here, the country, state, city, zip code, website, and add additional custom values. These custom values are going to be default breakdowns from the invoices that you sent out. So if you want to put in another from email, or you can do the logo image URL as well, then you can add those custom values to be filled out on the invoice itself. That'll be pulled from your account. So you can have like a booking thank you page. You can do the offer name as well. These are going to be edited inside of your account underneath the custom value side. So if you go and update a custom value, this is where those custom values are going to be pulled. These are going to be based on the individual context that you're sending to. So if you have a from name that has a custom value attached to it, that is where these are going to be updated. So custom values are based on the context that you're sending from, and so these are going to change based on the context that you're sending to. So that is super nice, super custom. If you want to change, let's say the base logo, like logo URL, to have your client's logo URL inside the invoice at the base of it, then you can adjust those things here. And once you have everything set, click on save. Next section, email configuration. You can choose a default from name and a from email. You have title terms and layout. You can put those estimate titles and terms here, terms and notes, stylize those here at the top. You can also do like custom links and custom values inside this account. You can also do the invoice title and terms, and you can also do the invoice layout. So when you click on the little icon here, this will be the default layout of the account. You have terms and conditions that show up here at the base that we were looking at editing. You can turn on and off each one of the business informations, and you can add the custom values that we talked about. So when we go in here and do like the booking thank you page, that custom value would then show up. And because this particular account is not showing a particular contact that we're sending to on the left-hand side, then we don't have a custom booking thank you page to pull into the account, but otherwise those will show up here at the base of the invoice. You can also do contact information, add a custom field to this account. These are going to be the custom fields that you add inside of your account settings section. Invoice information, these are defaulted to turn on as well, and you can't turn those off at the moment. You can also do border colors and pay button. You can also go over to labels, and you can change some of these mobile or desktop label identities. So if you want to turn off subtitles and you don't want those, then you can turn those off, or you can reset all changes. Once you're happy with everything, click on the Save Changes for this account, and you can also customize this template name if you really want to. Next is going to be the payment settings. Payment settings is the estimated expiry day. So if you send an invoice 14 days after that is sent is the default. You can of course change that when you send the invoice as well. You can do the estimate prefix that is going to be attached to the generating of all estimates. The invoice due date after the certain amount of time sent. When is it due? 14 days is the default. Invoice prefix as well. Leaving these things are going to be best, but you can edit those if you really want to. You can manage default Stripe payment methods. So if you attach a different payment processor, then you can choose the default payment method for the invoices for the people paying it. Where do they pay through? You can allow partial payments if you want to, turn those off or on, and you can choose the amount to be paid. You can charge late fees. You can add or manage the percentage of those late fees, or you can do flat fees if you want to do those here. You can also allow tips with default tipping percentage values that are pre-calculated to the invoice that is sent. Well, let me jump back into settings, and we'll go to the product settings. We can import product descriptions, and those will be pulled from the product section. We can also make product descriptions optional, for the add or show description section inside of the invoice. Reminder settings, we can also choose to send a reminder for the invoice. This is a one-time recurring invoice where the automatic payment is disabled and the payment schedule doesn't exist. We can choose to turn on or off the reminder and put a default name to that. Choose an email template. If we want to create a new template, then we can click that here. We can also preview it. Same thing for an SMS template. We can choose the subject for this product reminder or invoice reminder, and we can do a reminder frequency if we want to have it add a reminder every single 3 days or months or hours before the invoice is overdue. And you can choose the maximum number of reminders. So that'll continue sending until someone makes the payment, and then it'll stop sending. You can also choose a preferred time zone, whether it's your business or the contact's time zone and the business hours, of course. You can also choose a reminder number 2 and a reminder number 3. You can add additional ones that send. So if you want different variation of the email reminders and SMS reminders, then you can turn those on and all off here. Those are going to be on by default. Building custom fields. So you can add your custom fields here. And so if you want to go in here and add like the puppy name, then you'll see that that is being added or removed from this account. And that'll show up underneath the build to right here. And so you can add custom fields to this account if you want to go and add additional ones. I only have one in this account, so that's all you're going to see. Notifications. You can do customer notifications in team. Customer is front facing. Team is going to be internal. Invoice received, estimates received, invoice payment successful, invoice payment failed, auto payment information, auto payment amount changed, auto payment failed, payment schedule received, and each one of these have individual templates for emails, SMS templates, and subjects that can be edited. You can also add the custom values to that. Very similar thing for the team notifications. These are just going to be defaulted to the email templates and subject, and same thing for each one of these reminders, but they are only email at the time of recording this video. That is the settings section for invoices. Next to that, you can click on new. You've got 3 options: new, recurring, and import invoices using CSV from other software. So if we click on new invoice, it's going to take the default template that we have edited. And of course, we don't have a payment selected, so we won't be able to send anything from this account, but we have the ability to go in here and do the business information. We can edit those details right here if we want, if we haven't preset them, or if we want to make them custom for this particular invoice. We can select the customer by doing this. That customer details will be pulled into the account. And of course, we can clear and edit those customers as well. And we can put the customer name attached to, let's say, this phone number if we don't have that at the time. We can also link this to an opportunity. So we can go to an opportunity that's inside of our opportunity pipeline and link that to this account. Then go down to the invoice settings, put a number, an issue date, and a due date. Those are going to be separate, and then enable taxes automatically if we want to, but those have to be preset inside of the account in order to do the automatic taxes if you want to have those enabled. You'll then add a product. So you can go down here, and if you don't have a product in the account, you can click on create product. This will create a product name, product good, physical, digital, or service, and then the price name that you can put into the account. And then you can, once you have everything all set inside the account, then you can click on tax category and select from a bunch of different taxes. Save for later if you want to save this product, or if you just want to make it a one-time. Once that is added, you can always go back and add and edit, and you can also go and add taxes, or you can add multiple versions or multiple products to this account. Below this, you can add descriptions to each one of those products. If you want to tell your customer a little bit more about this, you can also add a description, and then you can go and add a tax. There's also an add payment schedule. So if you want to have a percentage or fixed amount for the payment schedule, and you can add additional payment schedules if you would like to, then you can select the dates of each one of those payment schedules for the account. Underneath add discount, there's a percentage and custom amount. Below this, you have terms and conditions. You have the ability to customize that, change or charge a late fee, flat fee, or percentage fee, include tipping amounts if you want to turn that on, and you can add attachments to this invoice, which can be PNG, CSV, and PDF at the time of recording. You can rename this section, and then you can also preview, record payment, manage payment methods, and global invoice settings. Underneath the preview, this will pull it up into a new visual, but I may not be able to do it because I don't have any sort of payment gateway selected, so I won't be able to preview this. I can also record payment. If I have a payment gateway selected, I can manage payment methods by clicking here if I have that selected as well, and global invoice settings, which will take me back to this page. Once I have everything set, I can click on send, or I can save this for later. I can copy and mark as sent if I want to, or if I have the email all selected for this account, then I can send either by email or by SMS to the contact, and this will be sent out. This will then be marked as an invoice that is due, and then you can also see invoices that are received, overdue, and of course those in draft. Those would then show up here, and you can choose a start and end date, and you can do additional filters such as invoice statuses, which are going to be here, and then invoice payment mode if you want to test it or do it live mode. Highly suggest testing the payments and invoices before you send them all out to clients the very first time. Recurring invoices, these are going to be the exact same settings as the previous account, and then you can click on new and do a recurring invoice. The only difference with this is that this one is going to be recurring as opposed to one time. So whenever you go and add the products into this account, this will be a multiple recurring invoice that sends at a chosen designated time to the customer for them to then pay. So that this is something that they will manually put in their card and pay each time it is sent. Of course, the customer details and payment information can be saved to their account so that they only have to put in the information once, and then from that point forward, they just receive an invoice and then pay it. You can do default templates, clicking new template, and you can build out an invoice that you want to use. And then whenever you go and create a new estimate or invoice, then you can click on a new one, or if you have a template saved, a template option will show up here. You can go to estimates. Estimates are going to be very similar in the stylizing. The only difference is that this is going to show an estimate for the account, and then they can go in there and click on approve. So whenever you go and send this via a SMS or an email to the account, then they will receive the email or the SMS, and they can mark as I approve this estimate or not. And of course, if you have a product into this account, then let's see if we can create a product real quick. Then people can go and fill this out. So once all the information is sent and you have a bunch of details into the account and you save that and you click on the send button, you can choose either email, text, or both for this account, and you can CC additional accounts, or you can send a test or a live, and of course name this before you send it out to the client. Next is documents and contracts. So you have the ability to edit all documents and contracts, or you can do templates, very similar to invoices and estimates. These are just going to be labeled a little different. You can create a new document, upload existing PDFs, or you can import from template library. From the import template library, you're going to have a bunch of different pre-built documents if you want to preview this. And if you're happy with something, you can click on choose the template. That'll then load it into your account. And then you can create a document and contract to be sent out, such as like proposals, estimates, contracts for each one of your contacts. Once they receive something, the difference here is that you have a complete editor. From top to bottom, you have the ability to add an element, which has all sorts of different fillable fields, signatures, text fields, dates, initials, and checkboxes that you can add to this account. And once you're happy with something, drag and drop it into the section, and you have the ability to free form the location of it. It'll kind of snap to certain locations. You can click on it, and you can choose who is going to be the one that is supposed to sign it. You can have multiple signatures and signers for each one of these documents, and whenever you send this document out, they will each receive the ability to go and fill this out. You'll have you as the sender that will have to assign something if you add yourself to it. And of course, each one of the contacts, the recipients, are also going to have to sign. Once you add a recipient that you're going to send to, you can click on Set Signing Order, and you can drag and drop additional contacts that are going to have the ability to go in and add and sign it. So I do not have additional emails, but in this case, you would add additional primary contacts or secondary contacts, and you can add additional clients to this account, and you can drag and drop the order in which they're supposed to sign. So the person A will receive an email or an SMS for this document that they need to sign it. Then the person B, and so on and so forth, will receive notifications and have to go through and sign everything. Once it's all complete, you and every one of the recipients will receive a version of this document with all the signatures attached. You have initials, text fields, dates, and checkboxes for all of these steps. And of course, here's what a default template would look like. You have sections like the product list, which you can add additional products into this account, and those will all show up with estimate amounts as well. And of course, you can go and drag and drop and change each one of these text sections if you so choose. Underneath pages, this is just a quick way to navigate between the different locations and drag and drop them to whatever order you want. You also have document variables, which allow you to do additional, add additional variables and variable values to this document. if you want to add those there, and document created date, document reference number, and sub account name if you want to change those here. You have recipients, where each one of the recipients that you add to this document will show up here. You have payment settings, whether it's one-time, recurring, enable direct pay, enable send invoice, enable auto payment, and you can add payment schedules if that is all set up. Underneath the recurring, this is going to be the recurring frequency, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and then you can choose when it ends. And then you can schedule recurring invoices at time of signing if you want to, and you can generate an invoice at the time of signing, which will take a defaulted invoice that you have created and attach it to the document that you go and send out to be sent once this all the signatures are complete. So once everyone's signed everything, the invoice will automatically be sent out so that you don't have to manually generate a invoice at the time. This will generate it, and then you can choose to go and send it out unless you change some settings, and that can also be automated. You can override email configuration for this particular document so that you don't have to go by the default sending notification settings that we saw earlier. You can also enable a redirection to a custom URL so that once they fill out these details, it'll take them to a landing page or a website of your choice to open an existing or new tab. You can also add attachments from here. All the same editing features from the top, adding links, stylizing, adding custom values. Like we've seen before, the ability to edit the name. And then you can mark as completed, download PDF, convert to template, or add an expiry for this document or contract so that if there's only a certain amount of time that is legally applicable to be able to sign these things, then you can add an expiry date to that. So whenever you do that, it'll expire after a certain amount of time so that this is only due to, well, this is for legal reasons, that at the time of this being sent, if you don't sign by this date, then this is no longer going to be legal and we'll have to retry again. So we can save and send. Just like we saw before, we can add additional properties if we want to go and edit those properties. Those will show up here, and this is primarily for stylizing. Once we're happy with everything, we can save it, and then we can go and click on this send in the upper right-hand corner. And of course, it'll tell us any of the issues that we have for this document before allowing us to send. And that can be sent via email and SMS if you have those available for the contact that you selected. Settings are going to be the exactly same as we've seen before, with a few exceptions. You have product invoicing, direct payment and product invoicing that you can turn on and off if you want to. And document settings to redirect to a custom URL, you can do a default here, and expiration settings, you can default those settings here as well. You have the ability to look at draft, waiting for others, completed, payments, and archived for your documents and contracts. When we click on templates, it's going to be very, very similar. If we have pre-built templates for this account, we can do templates, public documents, and content library as different versions. And when we click on create a new template, we can import or create a new public one that is available for all users, or you can just create a default one, which just be available to you for this account. And you can always move them between the different sections inside of the sub account if you only want you to see it, or if you want other people in the account to see it. When you create a new template, it's just like the editor that we saw. You'll just be able to click back at all documents, click on new, and then you can choose from a template or from your pre-built templates, the ability to go and add that to your account. Next, you have orders. This is where you can track all submissions of orders in a single place. So orders can be done through transaction products, and then also this is managed through the store. So in the site section, if you click on the store section, orders are going to be primarily added through here. So if someone has started an order or they've completed an order, those will all be managed underneath the order section. You have customer details, source items, order date, amount, and status, and you can filter those by a lot of different status options, by payment status options, by payment modes, and then by source types at the moment. Those can also be imported as a CSV. If you have tracked everything in like a Shopify or other locations, you can import those as long as they are formatted correctly. You can also see abandoned checkouts, and that'll also allow you to do some automations based on the abandoned checkouts. Next is subscriptions. Underneath the subscription section, you can add them. So if you click on subscription, you can find a customer, and if you have the payment details, their card on file that you have used in the past, or they have just put into the account, then you can choose that customer. If they don't show up here, then you don't have a payment gateway and you don't have their payment details. You got to have both of those in order for them to show up inside here. And then you can choose the subscription details. You can go and add a product, add a price, quantity, and the products are only going to be subscription based. So they're going to be recurring charge products that will show up in the ability to add a new subscription to this particular account. And sorry about that. In regards to the integrated payment, you'll have multiple abilities or multiple different payment gateways if you have multiple attached. But if you're only using like Stripe or Square, then only one of those are going to show up. Click on additional options and you can do test or live. And then of course you can schedule it. All those filters are available: status for the overdue, unpaid, cancel, incomplete, expired, and trial. And of course payment modes, those are available there. Source types are also available inside this account. Funnels, websites, membership, payment links, and manual. So this isn't just relegated to individual products, but if you're using several of the other tools inside your account, such as a funnel that then has a subscription attached to it, then those will show up and you can filter them here. And you can, of course, create new ones. Next is payment links. These are going to build on top of individual products. So whenever you click on create a new payment link, these are link pages that are all inclusive to be able to send out to your clients, potential clients, that you want to get a charge from, and then they can use the URL that you have sent them to go ahead and complete a purchase for X product that you've attached. You click on create or select a product from this data list. All of your products will show up in this account and it'll show whether or not it's a single or one time or annual. And if you have multiple products in here, then people can click on individual products, the ones that they want, and then those will show up in a total. You can require customers to add a phone number, click customer addresses, allow coupon codes, and enable redirection to custom URL if you want to. And then you can choose the action for the payment link button. You can choose the branding to be on or off and edit those, adds terms and conditions, and of course add automatic deactivation of this payment gateway or payment link at a certain time. So if you only want this available for people to purchase before X date, then you can edit those here. And you can choose test or live, add a name to this, and then of course you can click on preview. Once you have the product in here, then this link, once you click on the copy and send, it'll generate a URL, a schedule URL, a one-time URL if you want to, and you can send it out to people to select and get payment very quickly. Of course, you can create dedicated landing pages for your products, but this is the quickest way to send out and collect payments from people by far. Transactions, these are just a list of every single payment that is coming through your account. So whether or not it's orders, subscriptions, individual products purchased, or invoices, all these transactions will all show up in one location. You can see the status. Was it successful? Did it fail? Who is the provider? Transaction date? All those things are all available here. And of course, you can import as a CSV if you want to, and you can download a sample CSV there. Product section, super important. This is going to be the primary area that you would live in order to create anything for the orders, subscriptions, payment links, and see transaction, and of course using coupons. And of course you can import from Stripe. So if you have pre-existing products inside of Stripe, you can import them here. You can click on create product. This will take you to a page that says include an online store. If you want to add that to a store that we saw earlier in the site section, you can add a title, description, stylize that, enable product labels if you want to, a start and end date for that visibility duration of the product label. If you only want this to be a sale label for a certain amount of time, you can choose a product collection or group of products to be organized inside of the store, or you can do a product tax code as well. You can do including or inclusion of taxes in price, or you can do global settings, yes or no to those taxes being included. Attach a tax rate if you want to select from your pre-built automatic tax rates inside of the settings section of your payments account. You can add additional options such as statement descriptor for the customer's bank. You can add product media that shows up inside of the online store, and you can add multiple product media of SVG, PNG, JPEG, or GIF. Prices is one time or recurring, that you can have multiple settings for each one of these payment selectors, including trial period, number of payments, setup fees. You can track the inventory with the available quantity and continue selling out of stock is an option, with additional options of price description and membership offers attached. So that would be underneath the membership section of the account. You can attach membership to also be included in the product if you would like. You have variations, and so you can add a variant once you put in the name of this like variation to this account. So this will be dark and this would be darker. You can add additional variations and you can click on done. And once you have the variants inside here with additional price details, you can put stuff like compare at price as well. And once you're happy with everything, you can add additional variants. Once you have the variant attached, you can click on the edit button as well, or you can add multiple variants to this account. Once those are all set, those will be available inside of the online listing store for people to choose from the different variants. And of course, different variants can have different prices if you'd like to attach those. Search engine listings is available for the public facing part of this product. If you have it in an online store or on a website or on a funnel, then this can show and be pushed to SEO for Google and Bing and others to crawl. SEO title, SEO description, and handle for this product. Once people click on it, what does the URL end up looking like? You can jump between the different sections of the product editor on the left-hand side. You can discard and save. Once we're happy with everything, those would then show up in the products listing. And of course, we can filter by a couple of different methods. Underneath products, we have collections, which if you create a new collection, then you can organize future products into this collection. Collections can also have a dedicated image underneath an online store, and you can choose a collection type as either manual or smart, which will try to pre-match based on conditions inside the account, such as title names, or maybe even the price of the account. And then you can put an SEO grouping to this collection. Manual is available also if you want to search for products and add dedicated products into your account, but all manually. You can also do inventory management from this account. So you can change the inventory and manage it here and also see how many products have been purchases. And then you can also see the reviews for each one of your products if you have an online listing store that is active. You can see pending, approved, unapproved, and trashed for each one of the reviews. Next is coupons. Underneath coupons, you can click on create a coupon and put a name into this. And then you can put a coupon code, whether it's custom, or click on generate and it'll automatically generate a coupon code. You can do a type, whether it's percentage or fixed, and you can choose a discount offer or the fixed amount. And you can choose a start and end date for the coupon code to start and end. And then you can also do an end date and end time if you want to edit those here. You can limit the total number of times that the coupon can be redeemed to any amount, limit the coupons to selected offers or products. So if you only have a product that you want it to be applied to, such as a $100 product, you can limit it only to the $100 product. You can limit it to one use per customer as well, which will be then tied to their either email or to the card for this account. And you can also apply to recurring future payment based on duration or forever if applicable. So you can choose to stay forever or multiple months if you only want the coupon to apply for a little while for like subscriptions. And once you're happy with everything, you can click on generate and then that'll save to the account. You can choose all active, scheduled, or expired for the coupons. Next, we have settings. Underneath settings, we have receipts, and we can choose the title to show up for the receipt prefix, start number, and then the from date, from email, subject, email template if we want to create a new one or use the default and add notes and terms. We have the ability to add and adjust taxes for this account, and we can default it to yes or no and choose to add additional tax rates inside this account with your tax ID numbers and tax agencies added into your account, and you can manage them here. All of the available ones that you put into your account will then show up inside of the invoices, products, and others for you to select and start adjusting and selecting or collecting taxes. You can automate the taxes as well, and you can choose enable automatic taxes by checking the inbox you agree to the terms of use for your account. Notifications, you can do defaults for customer notifications, team notifications as well. Underneath customer, you have abandoned cart, order confirmation, order fulfillment, and team. You have the email templates for order confirmation for stores and the subject line that you can adjust. All these things, you can also attach custom values that are applicable to that selector. Shipping and delivery, these are available inside the account so that you can add the zones and pre-select them for the account. You can also do shipping zones for your account. So underneath the editor, you can do a general profile or add additional profiles for your shipping that may be automatically applied to everything or applied to particular products that you choose. You can do shipping origin for your account, and you can do subscriptions. If you want to do subscription settings, you can do manage payment methods for subscriptions, retry after how many previous attempts if you want to. You can also do if all retries for a payment fail, cancel the subscription automatically. And you can manage invoices for failed subscription payments, automatically creating invoices for failed subscription payments. And you can also automatically send invoices for failed subscription payments via a customer's email or SMS and choose which ones that you want or don't want. You can also enable passing processing fees to the customer for the card as well. And you can also do payment link customization so that the default colors and using brand board from your account will automatically be applied to the payment link for your account. Underneath integrations, this will enable you to add the payment integrations, which will be the connected ones. And in this case, we have none. And you can also do Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, NMI, manual payment methods, Square, Diane, and you can also search for additional ones with all integrations that look like this list. So there's quite a few that are available inside the account, so you should have an option to be able to integrate to the account. Okay, this is part 2 of all the tools inside of the account. Part 3, we will cover AI agents, marketing automations, sites, and then we may break it down to some additional parts moving forward. And I'll take a little bit of a breather. If you want any help with HIGHLEVEL, you can go to my website, which is joshuasanderford.com. And on my website, I've got calculators and tools, a bunch of free calculators and tools here at the top. You can also join the community, which we've got 1,500 people in the community. I do live coaching calls, which are all free. And if you want to join HIGHLEVEL, then I've got a bunch of discounts, and you can see people that have interacted with me in the past. And here's all the things that I help you get started with. See you in part 3.